Right, because if they pay now, then they'll have a re-registration fee next year instead of a new registration
Check it out
fee.
now.
Right. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to him about that.
Explain that to them.
Yeah. So that was recruitment. Recharter, we had a few people already pay. Again, that's kind of, we set a date, of course, to try and get everybody to pay early. It's not actually due until December. The more that we get paid beforehand.
November 21st is cutoff date for registration.
November 21st is the cutoff date for registration.
That's correct.
So,
There is no December date. November 21st.
so we need to get as many people to pay as we can.
In fact, I think the Charahoe open house that they can do even a few days before that.
Yeah. Are they going to do it at Yahoo again? The last check-in?
Last year they did it at the library in Richmond.
Okay. So yeah, so we definitely want people to pay recharge.
Check your email first, because I sent a new link.
So the other, so yeah, so that's recharging. We can make a new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought they
Simplified
were
it.
early too when they said that, but that's actually the national date that they look for. They've just been extending it each year to December because of all the stuff that's been going on, and new stuff, new changes, and what have you. This year they're not going through that.
I didn't get a new link.
All right, so that is recruitment and recharters. So
Barry, can you move to this side because they can't hear you on the meeting?
kind of going.
Because it's Dave's computer, that's audio.
Yeah, this one's got the mic. So
Thank you.
kind of going back through what we've already done. As far as the welcome back meeting, has anybody heard anything negative, anything positive, anything that we might want to change? No.
I haven't heard any negative. I think a lot of people were positive about the camp out itself.
No, the welcome back.
I didn't hear anything negative about the welcome back, but it's the same people that were at the camp out and all the meetings. So that's a good thing.
What about Ashley Sportsman's Club? Do we hear anything negative about the Ashley Sportsman's Club? Being outside, having the kids in their separate groups. Positives, negatives?
That's the old one.
I just sent that
It's
thing.
okay until it gets dark out.
With the amount of, like, doing all the groups together. But I don't know what other kind of options. For us, like in preschool.
Put that louder.
COVID situation-ish, and it was something very simple, like Henry just had a runny nose, and once he has a runny nose, like you're literally kicked out for 72 hours, and you need a cold, don't come, even if it's just a cold, because other families, they're just getting a cold, and they don't come, even if it's just a cold, because it's other families, like, they're just getting a cold, it's really not worth it, and to like shove the swab up before, absolutely awful.
Yeah. No, Mason Monday, stay home Tuesday. And I believe Devin had the same.
Yeah, Devin had allergy symptoms. I have allergy symptoms and I'm out of work for 10 days because I'm in a healthcare setting.
To get a test before you can go back.
No, not for one symptom. You have to be out for 24 hours. Just because of the medication. If you have two symptoms, then you have to go get a test.
And a specific symptom.
And it's a week. And you have to have a negative test to go back.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, it's 48 hours basically, but you have to have a negative confirmatory in order to go back.
Right.
I don't trust that test for multiple reasons.
Well,
So yeah,
For us-
so the meetings are gonna be kind of weird.
I mean, I'll send out communication to the
Maybe
parents.
send out emails reminding every time, if you have any COVID symptoms, don't come.
I'll
That's a great idea, Taryn. We should do that.
I'm glad she thought of it.
Matt was just saying that.
Thanks for your input.
That's definitely something that could be put into the scout book, kind of like a blanket statement, you know, that just kind of reminds everybody, hey, we're having a meeting, but remember what our policy is.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, like, we're still sticking to those forms at every meeting, which talk about the symptoms. So
Well, but that's okay.
I would like them to not show up if they have symptoms, but at the very least, if they do, it's kind of like a double check, like, hey, remember, if you're here and you have these. And as leaders, if we see any of the symptoms, we have to make sure to address that too on the ingress side of people coming to the meeting. So I think an email,
That's critical right up front, right, Matt?
yeah,
Right, when the we have to make sure that we have full clarity there before they leave.
correct.
What do you say, Ron?
Okay. So, 100% on COVID. All right,
What is that noise? Who is that?
Washer?
I think that's Mark. Mark, I think your mic is picking up something.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, he's just sanding next year's cars.
Yeah, he's preparing his Pinewood Derbies.
Wait a minute.
I was thinking
He's
about
on a boat. I know that back window. That's cheating.
Wait, why can't I see people?
I could tell he has the captain's hat on.
I didn't even notice that.
Captain's log.
So the camp out, did anybody see anything negative about the camp out that we might want to change? I think it went pretty smooth. I heard a lot of positive
Oops.
things.
I just muted you. Sorry.
you just muted yourself, so staff could go back to pretty smooth.
Sorry, that was me. You have to unmute though.
You muted me again.
No, you have to unmute yourself.
No, Matt muted me.
It wasn't my fault. I was trying to get everybody's camera up.
Matt, that was smooth.
Pretty smooth.
That's one way to get Dave to stop.
So I heard. Anyways, I heard everybody praise it. I heard people were saying it was great. It was a good routine. We did a lot of good events, especially the hiking in the fire building.
It was good for what we had to deal with. I mean,
Yeah, it was a good price, being free. Everybody brought their own food, so the pack didn't have to worry about that either. So
That was nice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, actually, I got good feedback from parents that brought their own food. There were a few benefits to it. One was, you know what your child likes, right? So, like, there were no meltdowns about, I don't like hot dogs. I don't like the way Dave cooked hot dogs. I don't like raw hamburgers with just cheese on them, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, every kid, and also from the pack perspective, it was great from a budgetary standpoint, because in a struggling year, and from a leadership perspective, it was nice because we didn't have to like pull out the grill and do all the prepare work for 50 people. You know, it was just, okay, this is dinner time. Go get it.
Yeah.
And some of the food looked really good. It's too bad we couldn't share,
Yeah.
but
I don't know, my salad was delicious.
that's kind of like
Yeah.
cheating.
That is wicked true. The only thing worse than that was bringing cold cuts.
I was thinking, going forward, Obviously, we learned a lot this year. But maybe we ought to figure in like an emergency reserve in our account. You know, even if we gotta cut corners again next year, just to make sure that we've got a little bit in there in case something like this happens again another
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I think there's a limit. We'll have to check with Dave Senior. I think there's a limit to how much we can carry over. But yeah, we should go right up to that limit if we can, you know. We probably won't even get to the limit, but but yeah, I agree that you know, we're lucky that we always have to have a certain amount of money in for kettle corn. So this year we had the money to make the program work, and our fundraising efforts goes towards next year's kettle corn. But the reality is that really, because we're borrowing from next year's kettle corn, we're really just replacing those funds.
Upcoming events. So I don't know how many of you guys still have your calendars, but for this month of October, we normally had the spectacular on the 17th, and
The line, she has the illegal giver there again. Can you head over to that address?
we have the PAC meeting on the 19th. So I had changed the schedule around because the spectacular was normally at the elementary school, but I think that we should do like a Halloween party type thing at the gun club. The nice thing is, last year we came to the fire department and we cut the pumpkins, and everybody loved it. We had a great time. Unfortunately, the pumpkins usually go on the spooky trail, which we ran into issues last year. But we're going to have about the same issue now because we're not going to the school. So I don't
think they're going to be doing it anyway.
No.
Yeah, they're
That's
not.
why we're not going to be going to the school. So I think we should do like a Halloween costume party at the gun club.
Well, so
I think Halloween
separate from the pumpkin thing, or like just have a party separate from the pumpkin thing.
Separate from the pumpkins.
I think we still have our 25 maximum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks because then we can't have a party.
I mean, as of right now, we don't know what it'll be then.
Right.
Well,
I don't
we're
think it's going to
talking
change prior to the election.
2 weeks from
Well, it could go
tomorrow.
down, I think is what Pat's saying, right?
Right.
But we don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea, right? So
We're talking 2 weeks from tomorrow.
party might be tough, but I think that we should definitely still do the pumpkins here if we can. Because I think everybody really enjoyed that last year, and there's enough space here that we can spread out. And then people can just take their pumpkins home with them. I think that's fair enough.
Put them on your doorstep.
Yep. And then
Right away.
maybe as a pack we can drum up some pumpkin awards, right? So we can
Have that at the
recognize
back.
the kids for creativity on their pumpkins.
Yep.
And then if we want to have some sort of a Halloween gathering or get together or whatever, I think that we can definitely figure that out. It's obviously got to be soon, but it may have to be separate in our pods. I don't think that we can all
Right.
do it together.
Right.
We can do it like if we do it at the gun club, you know, we can separate and break apart or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, on a capacity note, I know this isn't related to the events, but we may end up having to split the dens as we start to move inside because it's going to start getting cold soon.
Yes.
And so we may end up having to do like this Monday is lions and tigers and bears.
Oh, no.
and next week is Weeblos, you know, and separated them out like that. Or whatever, however we figure out
Yeah.
how to separate them.
I think that's definitely something that we have to have, we have to be thinking about because it will get colder. We have to figure out how to manage that. We need to look at the size of the groups, right?
Yep.
So we can, depending on big, small, we just need to figure out what works best so that not everybody has to be there every week.
Right.
You know, I know there are families that have multiple kids in the pack, so if there's a way to make that work, something like that, that'd be good too.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Is there a line?
No. Well, there's a lion den, but we don't have any new kids in it yet.
You have any kids in it? Yeah.
Nope. So we have currently the roster looks like this. We have 2 tigers, at least.
Yeah.
There are a few more that were lions last year that have not yet responded. We have 0 wolves. No, I'm sorry. We have a ton of wolves. Mark's group is wolves now. I have to do the upgrade in my head. You know, we have well, how many, Mark? Is there like 6 or 7 in your group?
5.
5. Okay, so we have 5 wolves right now. We have no returning bears, but I have not heard from one of the families. Weeblo 1. We currently have 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Let me hop in the scout book real quick because I did some cleanup in the scout book to take out like people that I knew were not coming back.
Yeah, there was 4 the other night at our first meeting, and then if CJ is going to come in, that makes 5.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard from any of the other parents.
I have not yet. No.
You got 7 on my roster.
For tigers?
Yeah. So that's
Only those are the ones that haven't responded yet.
right. That's everybody that was on there. So like I know one family hasn't responded. That's also the bear. You guys are here. I have McLaren is here. Jude, Nathan, Quinn, and Richard. We haven't heard from yet.
Right.
I'm using first names on purpose.
Well, Quinn is
And I thought you're not doing it this year.
this year.
Quinn's a no this year. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We don't know if he's gonna re-register so that he doesn't have to pay as much next year. He's already said he's not gonna be here this year, but he's gonna come back next year.
So he's going to pay 114 this year, so he doesn't have to pay 25 next year.
Right.
Okay, it's fine with me.
It doesn't get to us.
So yeah. So then Weeblo is 1. Currently have 9 scouts on roster, but I know we don't actually have 9 scouts. We haven't heard from the Morgans yet. CJ would be 1. Cody, Devin, Jack. We haven't heard from the Goodings yet. Jaden, Max, and we haven't heard from Sadie yet. But from what I understand, I don't think he's coming back. So we have potentially 6. And then Weeblo's 2. There's 9 on roster. Hunter, we haven't heard from the Goodings. Landon?
I've heard from Landon,
Mhm.
who said he missed, he forgot what time it was. He hasn't said no, but he hasn't said yes either.
Okay, so he's up in the air.
Yeah.
Liam? No? Okay. Luke, Mike, Ryland's probably a no. Tucker, and Wyatt. So I wish we had some of the dens that don't have any in there. And then we have Susan. We have Susan's daughter still in. But I don't think any of the other girls are returning. Jocelyn would be out now. My stepdaughter's not returning. Vieira's not returning. The girls, Mia. So like, I think we have 1. And so I talked to Susan about the one, about how she can kind of address it. Instead of like muddying up the meeting, she's just going to work on stuff at home. She's still on charter. She can still do everything. And then if we have pack events, she'll attend those. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's the,
So yeah, so we have roughly 15 to 20 kids.
Yep.
So
so we definitely took a hit this year. But I will say about the roster that the kids that are in it this year are the kids that have always been serious about it in past years. right? And a lot of the kids kind of did stuff, but were hit or miss when it comes to the meetings. Which isn't, we should be working to increase that, not decrease it. But I think, I talked to Mark Arnold at council, and he said if we get a flyer going, he'll make sure it gets posted to the council things. Talk to Barry. It's not too late to recruit, but it's getting down to the wire.
Right.
So virtual recruiting is tricky because obviously we're not in the schools, a functioning PAC, which is probably different than a lot of PACs. So anyway, there's not really any PTO happenings right now
That's
because,
Mark's department.
well, I talked to Jill at the camp out, and she said, there's really not much going on because everything's remote in school, and the kids that are in school, there's no events that they can do because of the regulations. So,
Yeah, the schools told us that they're not doing any extra activities.
Right.
So we should be able to book the auditorium for Final Derby then.
yeah.
No, so on the new calendar, I have the Pinewood Derby. I have the Pinewood Derby trying to be at the sports club. But then we talked about this at the last meeting. We need to reach out to the Girl Scouts and see if they're going to end up doing the Pinewood Derby also.
I thought in our last committee meeting we talked about having Pinewood Derby here.
We did, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would help if I put that down.
But I don't think that, personally, I don't think any of that's going to be an issue anyway. We're talking March.
Yeah. I think that it would be cool to have it here. I mean, they just don't want me to talk tonight. Comical almost. Dave, you say something first. Okay, good. Now I can talk and they won't interrupt. So I think it would be cool here. It's a garage first off. Garage and cars go together.
West Hills services need to respond. 79 Church Street, for forward.
We have done that before, Final Derby and Boone Gold. That's when the park was larger than it is now.
So as per the call,
So we know we can make it work.
Yeah.
We don't know if we're gonna be restricted by numbers when that time comes.
Right.
So, we do have a wall that divides two different rooms here.
Right.
So if we had to get 25 and 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or even if we try to get the track so that it ends or starts outside where most of the people can sit.
Well, we can also split the next two come in. So there's definitely some ways around it, and we'll have to jive as things get closer, and we know what the regulations are.
Hey, I'm having a hard time understanding. It's hard to hear right now. I'm not sure where the issue is, but you guys probably already talked about it, but I'm not sure if I heard it. But why can't we just film it? Why can't we Google it and have people drop their cars off, and then we can run it, and everybody can participate?
Takes the fun out of it, Pinewood
Takes
Derby.
the fun out.
Yeah, definitely does take a little bit of the fun out of it. But if we're restricted, I'm not opposed to that.
I mean, you can
Okay,
split it
yeah.
up between two pods and do one day or one in the morning.
Yeah, we don't even know if they're gonna do
I don't
regionals
think
yet.
so. Not at this point in time.
Yeah, so Barry's saying right now they're not even thinking about doing
It's not even
regionals.
on the calendar.
So, I mean, in two groups, it wouldn't.
But that doesn't mean we can't do it, right?
Right.
I mean,
No, we could do it, but we were just talking about doing it in two separate groups. So we'd have one group come in and say
9, 10.
noon or 10, and another group come in and say 1 or 2 after everything's all done.
Right.
Yeah. We'll have to work on it. So as far as,
We got time.
yeah, we have a lot of time.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna start talking.
let's worry about October and November for now. So October 17th, we're talking about doing pumpkins now. October 19th, we had a PAC meeting scheduled at the Sportsman's Club. But again, we're talking head counts and social distance.
Well, we'll still do, our PAC meetings our PAC meetings and our den meetings are essentially the same.
Yeah.
The only difference is that at a PAC meeting, those are the dates that we're handing out advancements. So anything that the children have done between the PAC meeting prior and that PAC meeting, I will hand to the pods. I'll get it to the pods ahead of time. So we're not going to be all together as a PAC. We'll still be in our pods, but they'll at least get their advancements as if it were a PAC meeting. That's the only difference between those two. So,
And you as leaders can go from one side to the next and hand them out.
right.
Right.
Because that's important.
Right.
It makes it a little bit more official if you as Cub Master go around and actually hand them out.
Right.
Do you think we could combine the 17 and 19 together?
What was that? What did you say?
He wants to combine the 17 and 19 events, so he's saying.
We could.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we could definitely do.
I mean, instead of
Doing two events, we do one on the 17th.
What is the
pumpkins
17th?
And hand out, it's a Saturday.
Saturday night?
Yeah,
Or,
it should be a Saturday.
okay.
What?
Me too. Saturday.
19th is a Monday.
Well, I'm good for the
why
17th.
don't we just keep it on the Monday that we're all used to and do pumpkins and hand out badges?
We could do that.
We could do that too. We could make it the 19th instead. Yeah?
Yeah, let's migrate it down to the 19th. I think Monday nights are easier for parents than Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't have my kids Saturday. So.
Yeah.
Just throw this out there really quick too. I mean, we're talking about doing pumpkins, right?
Yes.
So that's not gonna be something easy if we just have 2 leaders per group.
But we'll be
You know,
here.
normally we have, sorry, but a buzzkill, but, normally there's some parents there that can help us get it done.
We'll be
So they,
here.
you know, they may end up having to bring the pumpkin home and it'll be finished, but, I don't know. Just concerned about trying to do a lot of that all at once.
What location are we talking for that event?
Here.
Here, so we can split
Right,
it up.
so we have 2 big rooms at the fire department that we could separate into 2 groups.
If we only have the children that we just talked about on roster, then we're not over capacity in any of the groups,
Right, he's saying.
even with parents.
If we have 2 leaders or 3 leaders in here with 20 kids.
I'm saying invite the parent.
Or
No. I'm saying invite the parents at the camp out with all the parents there. And the Boy Scouts,
Right,
right? So if we're separating the pack into 2 groups, right? And we have one group over there, even with the parents, we're not even gonna be close to the number.
no. So we separate into 2 groups with parents.
Right.
Right, so we'll have to make sure that they knew that they could stay then. Right, that's what you're saying.
What's that?
Right, yes, they need to know that they can stay.
Yeah. All this, we'll send all this out in emails so that parents understand. I mean, this year is going to be tricky. Like, parents are going to have to pay attention to their emails because things are going to change on the fly, unlike previous years where there's a lot of pre-planning.
Yes.
Like, literally, it could be the day before that something has to change because of the regulations.
Right.
You know, we'll do as much pre-planning as we can, but there are some things that we're not going to be able to catch.
Okay, so that's pumpkins and the PAC meeting here, 2 groups with families. Okay,
What time does that start? 6?
that's gonna be 6 to 7:30. We'll give them a little extra time because last time I think some of the seeds out, some are still cut in. We'll stick around. So my next event on the calendar was Scouting for Food, October 26th.
Cancel.
I haven't heard anything. I know that the Johnny Cake Center has said, no, we're not gonna accept food.
It's going to be canceled.
It's already been canceled.
Yeah.
There is no scouting for food this year.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause it's on the website, it's on the events website.
Sure.
What was that, Dave? What just got said, I didn't hear.
They're saying that it may be canceled, but I'm pretty sure I
Looking at a
heard
virtual,
campsite.
they're looking at a virtual gathering for food this year.
Really?
Yes.
How are you gonna hand in food?
First, give a gift card to a grocery store?
I'm not sure, I don't have all the details.
Yeah, so that may be getting mixed too, but that's the end of the month, so.
I'm almost positive it is gonna get nixed.
I already know it's not happening. There is no door-to-door at all. They've already said that, none, zero.
Okay. All right, so we're not doing scouting for food then. Cross that one off.
So we talked about this last meeting also. We were talking about maybe doing some sort of a community reach event in place of that. So take one of the Saturdays, it doesn't matter which one.
Maybe we talk on
And we can talk to, you know,
we say we could talk to Ashaway and see.
Town of Hopkinton.
Yeah, see if there's a, like a cemetery that needs cleaning or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah,
like
that's a good idea.
historical
I think
cemeteries are a good
Press.
place because they're usually off the road.
I was gonna say, this one right
Doesn't
here.
Ashaway also have a organization like, Wesley does for, property that is owned and with trails in it? Like the nature preserve or something like that?
I don't know.
That's a good question. So the question was, maybe the town has a nature preserve or a group that would need help or would like help. Maybe cleaning up a hiking trail or something like that. I don't know. I know that we talked to somebody last year.
I know the Wesley Land Trust has, on this side of the river, those trails that start off at the end of Chase Hill Road. That go across.
Yeah,
I know they're always looking for help, for helping
to clean.
to clean and do service project for that.
Yeah, if we can find something outside to help out.
Yeah.
Good, Ashaway had it.
There's one down near the river, was it Ashway River? Down by my house.
So I wonder if we should reach out to the town clerk and just ask.
Yeah.
That'd be probably our best route.
So, yeah.
That'd be probably our best route.
So,
Hey, Tara, want to do that?
she's shaking her head yes.
Can't get your head rattling. Right near Potterville. You know that little trail back there?
Yeah.
Next one, accidental activation, go back to the meeting for you.
Sure enough, if they could probably cover that area.
Okay.
All right, so scouting
So-
for food
Isn't that Wesley?
was 2
We
weekends.
live right over these.
So,
Oh,
But
okay.
isn't that Wesley?
Like that, okay.
It might be what's right.
So we'll shoot for,
Forest?
What's that?
Is it by the Wesley Forest? Wesley
Okay,
Land
here.
Trust has a lot of
So then
land
we
that
can make it work where one group does a little bit one week, and then the other group does
Right.
the second half of it the following week or something, right?
right. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is trying to split the pack in half or into 2 groups. We send that out and then it starts being, okay, you guys are doing it this weekend, we do it this weekend. Yes.
you lost me.
Well, I think we said to make sure we have a good showing of adults.
Yeah.
Both of them,
Right.
both days.
Right.
So either way, Taryn's going to reach out to the town clerk, figure out what we could possibly do, what areas of interest there are, and then we can just plan the 2 different dates, and we'll plan on splitting the pack up and hopefully get enough volunteers. And if we don't get enough volunteers, then we'll do an RSVP.
Yes.
Okay.
The place I was talking about was, it is Westerly Land Trust, but it's the Flora Whiteley Preserve.
where does that start?
It starts, you know where the waterfalls are, right there next to the Potterville Mill, right there.
Oh, that's right. It goes up the other side of the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. So I'm gonna just put community,
Outreach program.
yeah, perfect.
There's all sorts of stuff you can do for the community. I mean,
So the only
And come down here and watch fire trucks.
the only other thing after that is November. Last year we went to the Boston Museum of Science. That's probably gonna get next. But maybe we could look into Yagu or another scout camp where we could spend the weekend again. Don't forget New Hampshire. That's included.
That time of year, we're looking at cabins too.
We can't do
So we
that.
have to consider, we have to consider.
We can't do it. We can't do tent camping in November.
So we might have to limit the size potentially, depending on where it is. You
Yeah,
know, if we go to New Hampshire, then they may have different rules,
correct. So that's gonna be something we may,
different rules.
correct. So that's gonna be something we may have to look.
I honestly don't think that New Hampshire is going to be an option for us as a
Going
path.
out of state causes other problems.
Right, because people that went to New Hampshire last week.
Not if you're coming back from a state that's less than 5%.
Did you say we
Just saying,
can't
could
do
be.
tent? We can't do cabin? Why?
It's in the COVID thing.
That's right.
We can't do cabin camping. That's why Yagu was tent only.
So what is council doing for the winter months?
They're not
They're
camping.
not camping. They're not utilizing.
Okay,
their
so-
cabins.
So then that whole idea is nixed then because
That's why-
Unless it's a warm weekend.
That's
Yeah,
why
but-
But how do you plan ahead of it?
November.
you can't say if it's warm we'll camp. If not, we're not doing anything. That's
See, for the Boy Scouts, it's even only to the middle of November for Yagu.
So then we need to start thinking of what we're gonna do in November, because
What about, oh, no,
we're nixing a lot of stuff.
Well,
We
hiking.
nixed a lot of stuff last
we
year.
can do a hike. You can kind of do that in the cold.
Well, in the middle of the day, it's not like.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean we can do some sort of a day event. We just can't do the sleepover. Like
When
we
did
could
it,
we could go to Yagu
Here's
and hike, or even if it's a little chilly out, like the kids can wear jackets and we can hike and stuff. We just can't stay over in tents, obviously.
well, on the whole Yagu thing, when do they start doing snow? They start the fake snow before real snow starts.
No, different Yagu.
I'm just thinking. No, that's why I said on the Yagu thing. I didn't say there.
No, we could go tubing.
No.
at Yagu.
No, you can't.
No, we
Skiing or
can't.
something?
We can't go
No.
tubing.
No Cub Scout event. No.
No, you cannot
Do's and
tube.
don'ts. Don't do it.
Okay. It was just a
It's
thought.
in the
What
book
they
of
say?
no.
The book of no.
It was just a thought to get the kids out doing something.
I know.
No.
It's a good thought, and we've definitely talked about that. That's why we know that it's no.
Why is it no?
We should just look
They're not
at
allowed to.
trying do-
Downhill.
Safety.
Section safety.
Because
Safety?
Like once a month on a Saturday.
Hold on, Howard. We got our arms right here.
Should do this in the office next time. This is all. Yeah.
All right, what was that?
I was thinking maybe we should just try to take the opportunity to expand and or help and try to get more belt loops done on a specific day where we plan like a Saturday and we're just gonna try to do very specific things that we can control a little bit.
Yeah.
Rather than try to do some type of big event, maybe try to, some awards.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, on that thought, just a thought. If we do it like on a weekend or something, my shop's always open. If it's something that could help the pack as a whole to get badges, I can set up wood tables or whatever in my shop, and we can do woodworking, we can do metalworking, we can do whatever that'll help the kids get badges. I'm more than willing to let the kids use my shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got all the.
It's not something we have to do every weekend. It's just something maybe like November, if we're deficient.
Yeah,
Maybe we need to look at a day, like a Saturday, that we can try to do something to try to make it happen.
Yeah, we can do that. So we'll plan some sort of belt loop event.
yeah. So as long as I know ahead of time, so I can clean the
Is that
shop
visual
up.
fitness?
I don't care.
That-
There is a physical fitness belt.
that you could actually set up something like a handle field or
Yeah.
what have you, the different events. And we'll let the kids
Did we
go
talk
to
about the
different-
Veterans Day, putting the flags on the veterans' graves for Veterans Day? That's in November too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
What day is Veterans?
Yeah, November like 7th.
Well, then we might just do that. When we were talking about a
November
community
11th.
outreach thing, I was thinking about doing flags, but I couldn't remember
It's
when.
November 11th.
November 11th.
So that we're gonna have to reach out to the veteran cemetery.
Doesn't have to be.
No, yeah, it doesn't have to be veteran sentiment. So you can do it over here if you wanted to. We have to reach out to Hopkinton and ask them where.
So Taryn, add that one to your list too while you're talking to them already.
Now, I know another unit that uses the veteran service center every year, and they're more than willing to have as many scouts participate in that at a time. If you want to go in with another unit, then Jack Brody from Pack 3, which you guys are sharing dens with.
I'm gonna throw my
you,
boot at that.
Right?
That's gonna be here.
Correct?
Huh?
That's here. Hold on a second.
Ashby Fire Department fund at Madison Hill Road, man, number 60. It's gonna be for, smoking area.
I couldn't hear anything that.
Yeah, Ashby Fire Department fund at Madison Hill Road,
Can we get
area
loud
number
here?
60. The smoking area.
'Cause they're real small this year. They could really use the help.
Hold on.
Hey, Ashway's getting a call, so it's gonna get loud in here and trucks are gonna head out.
There we go. 60 Max and Hill.
Okay.
Let's go.
Doors just opened. Look, everybody, Mark's on a boat. Let me put him on center. Hey!
Captain Mark.
Hey, it's Captain Mark.
Hey, it's Moby Dick. Who lives in a pineapple city? Mark Raposa.
No, what I was saying was, Pack 3 does it every year, but their pack is very small. They're down to like 6 or 7 cubs. Because
Yeah.
Pack 3 what?
Hmm?
What town? What community?
Pack 3
Oh.
they're the pack that you guys have some.
Truck,
they-
Steven.
it's just a big-
That's awesome.
So there's no
Yeah, so it doesn't in here. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Only one truck?
It's right down here.
Nobody here lives at 60 Maxon Hill, right? You guys aren't in trouble, right? Well, we know you're not in trouble. You're on the water.
There could be a fire on the water. Oh, God, no
Look at him, he got
water.
his life jacket on.
Oh, you heard the alarm go off.
He's like, no, we're good. We're not on fire.
Definitely in the TV room next time.
Someone's having a campfire at your house, Mark.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
want
man, wait, hold on.
Jack Brody?
Hold on, I'll pin
I'll
it.
grab a 13 if you want me to go back. Sure.
Yeah, use the door.
We should be all set with, full test stuff here. Full test that way.
Looks like a pretty big boat.
Holy mackerel.
That boat's bigger than my house.
Yeah, really.
Where you docked at? We right there.
nice guy.
Thank you.
All right,
And they told me
so
it's one of the best events that they do. It's really, really emotional. It's really, really.
Barry was saying that. Oh, great.
What?
46 clear call for Ashley.
What's wrong with you?
I just want to know if there's something on the call for Ashley by 1855.
Christine feels nauseous.
Go get a fake test.
2 weeks off. So Barry was saying that there's another pack,
Pack 3.
pack 3.
Hopkinton.
Westerly letter, Northwest 2350
Pack 3
Street.
Hopkinton?
Hope Valley.
Oh, Hope Valley. I'm sorry, there's another.
Pack 3 Hope Valley.
Hope Valley is Hopkinton.
No.
Hope Valley is Hopkinton. It's
Yeah.
a village in Hopkinton.
Yeah.
That was a village in
It's
Richmond.
called-
No.
Nope.
Carolina's in Richmond. Hope Valley's in Hopkinton.
Okay, well, there's another pack in Hopkinton. Pack 3 Hope Valley normally goes to a cemetery to put out flags for Veterans Day.
That's the ceremony, and that's the.
So they're saying maybe we could team up with them and help them out with the cemetery. So that's an idea as well. On the 11th. All right, so I think
Does everybody know their contact info?
Yeah, I'll reach out to him, Taryn.
Make her do it. That's her job.
Oh, Mark does.
Yeah, no, I know the Hope Valley guys, and I think they actually usually go to the Veterans Cemetery to do it.
Yeah.
Right, they do. Yep, that's what we were talking about. So let's let
Helping
Mark
them
deal
out.
with it.
Route 2. Yeah, I can call them.
That's the big one on Route 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful cemetery.
All right, so November 11th.
But I know they have a standing invitation, so that's
Veterans
right.
flags. I'm sure that
Yeah.
we could
Jack.
incorporate the veterans flags into a belt loop too. Something about community,
Who?
the dens.
Oh yeah, that's
But we
there's
were talking
definitely
about
belt
doing
loops.
a belt loop event in November.
Yeah, there's definitely like civic duty belt loops out there that we can tie this to for sure.
Okay. All right. So
100%.
November.
What they do is they go to the ceremony itself, which is.
I know, like my group, there's actually like a flag
Take the
folding,
flags and they go
flag
on
ceremony that we
block,
kind of
They
incorporated
go
into
and that's.
putting flags on
Put the flag
bridge.
up.
Oh nice.
Yes.
Our boys have to do just Arrow of Light stuff, right?
And I think there's like
Do
an
those two?
outreach where you're supposed to talk to a veteran.
It's only Arrow of Light, right? There's no
The
actual.
whole
Huh?
what do you mean?
Right.
The Weeblos last year, the Weeblos stuff.
You can do both.
So this year, Weeblos 2 is still under Weeblos stuff?
It's all
Hold on,
yeah.
Howie, we got a
It's
line
2 years.
going on.
Weeblos is 2 years basically.
I didn't know if it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like
So you can
even
just kind of make up the stuff you didn't do.
yeah, exactly.
They didn't go very far.
Back already.
Right down the road.
They didn't even stop. They just sprayed from the window.
Yeah. They're doing a drive-by delivery of water.
They at least give you a hot dog.
Hi, Boy Scouts.
What's going on?
Cub Scouts.
Did you guys have s'mores over there or what?
No, nothing really. Are they going good?
All right, so we went over the upcoming events.
Hi, Rich.
I was trying to say about the Arrow of Light.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, sorry, Howie.
I was just gonna say there's a big, like, mandatory requirement that has to do with citizenship, learning about the flag and stuff like that, flag ceremony type thing.
Yep.
So that might be an
Didn't
improvement
we-
to get that requirement done for those guys.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be a perfect time.
we did that. Oh, that was just Wyatt and Hunter. We did I think they did it when we went to the boys' club. Camp out.
Yes, we did.
7.
7 o'clock.
Roller Clifton Coast, Old Mystic Fire Department in Arnold, North Sonic Fire Department in Arnold, 13455.
All right, so we went over the upcoming events. I have financing on here, but it sounds like we are cutting a lot of stuff, so I don't think we're gonna have to worry about financing for the pumpkins. The kids should bring their own pumpkins, of course.
Oh, we
really
don't-
can't share anything, so
Your dad's not here anyway, right? So
no, and Dad's not here.
we'll
so,
just forward that to the next meeting.
yes, forwarding to next
Well,
meeting.
he's downstairs eating.
Forwarding to next meeting.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing.
It's yeah, let's do that.
But we'll just forward it to the next meeting. How about
How
that?
about we forward it to the next meeting?
So fundraising. So Matt wanted to bring up something about fundraising.
Yeah. So, obviously,
It's Matt.
We're definitely
Okay.
doing coffee, right?
obviously we have fundraising requirement or needs this year. We are definitely going to do the coffee again, the Giving Bean coffee for people. And then I had two other ideas that I wanted to put on the table. Whether or not we do them is totally up to you guys. But come Christmas time, I reached out to this company here called Rada Cutlery, Rada, and they have some nice like knife sets, gift type ideas, right? So you guys can look at that if you want. And it's like 40%, I want to say, is what the kids get out of it, which is a decent amount. So anytime I look at fundraising, I look at like what the percentage of return to the scout is. So they end up getting like, I think like 40% of this one. And so I reached out and got that catalog, and all I have to do is kind of like pull the trigger and they'll send me enough for the whole pack if we want to do it. Fundraising is actually really easy to get like stuff because everybody wants you to do it. But there were some nice, like pretty simplistic knife sets in there. And being that our community is not like a very flashy community, I figured that might be a good pack fundraiser that we could do right around Christmas time. And then the other one that I was thinking is more of a homegrown one, which is a Scout cookbook, which like a Pack One Ashaway cookbook, where each family comes up with like 2 or 3 recipes to put in the cookbook. We get them bound and laminated or whatever, and then we sell those for like, let's say $20, $25 to families. More so, that's more like a let's do it. Campfire Dutch oven type recipes in there, just like seriously, like things that we do at campouts that people could find interesting at home. More of like a community outreach, but then also add stuff in for like holiday cooking and stuff like that. So I think as a group we can come up with quite a few cool recipes, and then that's like 100% profit. Well, minus the print cost, but I think we can get it printed pretty cheaply. So those are what you guys are thinking, how you're feeling about that, but I'll let you digest. Yeah.
Only thing I want to recommend or whatever, I don't know if it was just done late last year, but the coffee, doing that earlier. I had a lot of people
Hard
that
to
wanted
do
it
it.
for Christmas.
It's hard to do it earlier.
I had a lot of people that didn't do it because they were going to give it as gifts for Christmas, and when they found out it wasn't coming in for Christmas, they were like, no, because I don't want it. It's for other people.
So the coffee for Christmas, that's what I tried to do the first year.
Yeah.
It's next to impossible.
Okay.
Because by the time we get underway, which is like now,
Yeah.
right? Even if I get the flyers and everything for next week and I get them out to parents, I have to give people time to sell.
Yep.
So if I give them 2 or 3 weeks to sell, we're already in November. And by the time that it comes in and then we distribute it, sort it and distribute it, you're close to Christmas. We did that the first year. I did a first run and a second run.
Mm-hmm.
And the first run was going to be in time for Christmas, and then the second run was post-Christmas. I had almost nobody for the second run even do anything. And the first run, I mean, we've always kind of had a decent amount, but it's a real push to do it for Christmas. If we do it for Christmas, I think we can still make it, to your point. But if we do it for Christmas, I'm definitely going to need help getting everything together.
Yeah, it was just something that I heard, so I figured that, I mentioned it.
Flat? I can't hear you, Howie. What?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he wants to do all the coffee.
I'll help.
Yeah,
with anything.
except people will just like be missing a bag because he'll be drinking it while he's doing it. Do you drink coffee?
Yeah, but I don't think
Oh.
anyone gets the type I like.
Yeah.
I only like dark roast.
I still have coffee from last year that people didn't pick up.
Don't worry, it's nobody in this meeting.
No.
Yeah, I only like
Um,
dark roast, so.
But if we sell the same thing, we won't have to order it. Kidding. So I'll plan on getting the coffee order forms out ASAP, and maybe if we get the deadline in the right time frame, we can get it in before Christmas. And then we can't really do two fundraisers at the same time, can we?
We could say, hey, do you drink coffee? No. Do you cut steak? Here's a knife book.
Do you cut anything?
Yeah.
Made in America.
It seems like, I think you're gonna have a tough sell. People are gonna choose one or the other.
That's true.
Right.
So, and the other option is, like we're saying, split it into two. We could do one early and one later. Do one like November, do coffee in early November, and then do cutlery in
Different.
February or March.
Yeah.
I did.
So in like February, March,
You could do that
I
too.
think you'd have a better sell with coffee.
you think
I-
better sell with the coffee?
Drink coffee.
I know.
And they like giving it as gifts. That, I think they're gonna buy more for themselves.
So the other question is gonna be, does the cutlery go towards the
The pack.
scouts?
No, the pack.
It goes towards the pack. The coffee goes towards the scouts. So coffee is great if you have, the low income families who can't pay for camping or whatever. They can use the scouts funds to cover it.
This helps in our current predicament.
Right, that helps because we lost our major yearly fundraiser this year.
Would you think about changing that this year though, Matt, just to make the coffee go towards the pack rather than just the scout fund?
Or even like a split.
Costs of scouting went up and everything, so I think. Hang on.
I understand though.
I think that if scouts are going to need it any year, this is probably going to be the year that they need it.
Yep.
Plus, even though it's going to the specific scout, the risk is that if we don't make enough as a pack to cover the events, we're going to have to ask scouts to pay for events, right? So it's kind of 2 cents here to Tuesday, because if the scouts making their own fundraising because they can't afford scouting or they can't afford the events, if we end up having to ask for money for specific events, they can use that scout account for that too. So it's, even though it's not going directly to the pack and we're not discretionary over the funding from the coffee, we kind of are, because we can say like, this camp out's going to cost $20 because we don't have the funding in the pack. And then they can use their account for that if they want to, or they can just give us a $20 bill,
20.
Well, I get what you're saying, but I was just kind of thinking that, if we're looking at what our roster is right now, we talked about earlier, it looks like the roster's just shaping up to the kids that are really serious about it.
Right.
Right? The kids that are serious about it, they're committed about it. And so I was thinking that if we were to do the coffee and put it towards the pack rather than individuals, that's all. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So, I just had a thought.
Is it dying of loneliness?
I'll never die of loneliness. I got like 6 people in my head.
I said, is the thought dying of
Oh,
loneliness?
no. So, I was just thinking for possibly using my shop to help raise funds for the pack. If we had the scouts help design a couple of different, I can cut them. Costs are just wood. I'll cover the cost of wood. We can try and something along those lines. If I can help my shop.
Is that something that we could design at like a meeting, and then you can go and cut it and bring it like the next meeting to show them?
As long as it's not something big. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm talking like neckerchief slides or something.
As long,
Small.
yeah, if they design it up, I can draw it up. But this way, it gives them input into what they are,
Mhm.
and then we can use it to try and, if it's $10 or $20 a thing, and that's full,
Yeah.
As long as, depending on what we use for wood and it doesn't get out
Curly
of,
maple.
yeah, as long as we don't get out of control with the cost of,
All right.
as far as running the machine and the electricity, I don't care about it.
Maybe some e-pay or something like that.
I mean, just welcome signs, whatever, some small knickknacks, coasters, I mean, whatever. It's just a thought.
I wonder if we could, how much, so like, well, we'll let the scouts design it, but I just like an idea, like, how hard is it to change like a number on something? Like if you wanted to carve out a number, is it like a whole ordeal
Like,
to
what do you mean, like a
reprogram?
number?
Like,
For
so
a
like,
house?
like if we sold house numbers, for instance,
They're not.
So
I have
and took like custom orders.
I have a program. So the way I do it is I draw up whatever design we want, right? Something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, and then down here I have 1 through 10 or 1 through 0, and I already have them pre-figured out. I have the center mark here already figured out, right? And then multiple, I have different ones for different numbers, depending on how many numbers it is. I literally just have to
Tell it.
cut that one out, copy this one, take the center, and move it from here to here.
Okay.
And the same thing if it's multiple numbers.
Okay. So
it's really easy.
So we could do something like that too, where we make a little Pack One Ashaway, like our own little catalog, sell some custom orders, see if it takes off, and then
If it'll help you,
Well,
if it'll help
I mean,
us,
we'll obviously like,
I'll buy one.
yeah, I would buy one too. I mean,
I'll buy one too.
What is it you're designing?
so
Anything.
so we'll have kids design things that
The
could,
kids are designing it, so it'll help with something in there, whatever. And then I can either do it, or they can come and we can do it on the weekend. The boys can come and I can show them how the machines work, whatever. It'll get them used to equipment, whatever. And then we'll cut them and we can paint them, we can stain them. Proceeds will go right to the pack. And it's something the boys designed and made.
we could
And they can help kind of cut it.
make a couple of like mock-up things,
They
like,
just can't be around any of the machinery when it's running.
No, definitely not. But I can show them how it operates. They can move it with the computer, not run it, but just move it. This is how it'll work. Okay, now you guys can stand over there and you can watch it from afar. Or we can set up a camera and they can watch it on the computer, whatever, But it'll get them
But we could
No,
set
that's-
up a
that's-
used to like
that's a good
equipment,
That's a good idea.
we could set up a station out back for painting stuff too.
do all kinds of stuff. I mean,
so
my
when do we
shop, I
want
got
to,
this
when would we shoot for something like that? Because we would have to, so we'd have to have the kids like, figure out what items they wanted to put in this little catalog. And I'm talking like maybe like 4 items, nothing like crazy, right? And then we make a little catalog for them to go sell it, right? But first they have to make a couple of mock-up ones. So like if we were doing a house number, for instance, we might do like the number with the name and take a picture of it, put it in a catalog that we can print up and give to the scout to sell. A neckerchief slide or whatever it is. I think neckerchief slides wouldn't make too much sense because you're not going to sell those to the public, but like,
No, but if they wanted something
Anything.
themselves as a gift
yeah.
doing it, we can do something like that.
But and then I think in order to make a successful fundraiser, I think there has to be more than just the money, right? There has to be like prizes for the kids if they sell a lot, right? So like hit certain thresholds, get certain prizes, right? Which we can come up with. But I mean, if we're developing our own little fundraiser here, I think that we can definitely make that happen, but timing is going to be key and it's a lot of work for some people. So we need to figure out who's going to do, yeah, it's not going to be until like March.
Right.
So like
It can be like Pinewood Derby time,
Yeah.
So that's like a number one that I did.
And that could be something.
But those are
that
filled with
you know,
epoxy.
like,
Right.
That gets into a whole nother level.
Yeah,
But
no,
if
we
you
just have them
wanted to cut
painted.
them out, yeah. So that's CNC cut out on my router and then still do
Okay.
epoxy.
So we have a couple of ideas for fundraising, so we'll
Yes.
talk offline on that one.
Okay.
Like those are
So-
all the colors I have.
Next on the agenda was
Training.
annual training. So I know that I got an email from council about my YPT expiring. I'm sure other people probably have an email as well.
I didn't get an email.
Whatever, I'll send you mine.
I think we're pretty
did
much
mine
on
last
site
night.
now anyways.
How did his last night.
I did mine 2 weeks ago. That's why I didn't get an
Sam
email.
finished his first.
Nah.
The gold star.
Nah, I finished mine first.
So actually,
That's a lie. I finished mine first, but it didn't go through.
these are the,
So anyways,
Good for no-
we
like-
definitely,
these are ones.
Going back
something like that
to
for numbers.
recharter
It's just a number.
and
Yeah.
all that fun stuff. We definitely want to make sure our annual training is up to date.
So, what the heck? So YPT 100% needs to be done by every single leader on this call. So go in and do it. Log in, do your YPT, print out your certificate,
Yes,
save it to PDF, do whatever, send it to me.
yes. Definitely make sure you print out your certificates after you complete it.
The
What do I need?
YPT
What do I need to do?
and your annual training.
Can you just email it to me?
Yeah.
wait, YPT is the annual training, isn't it?
All I have to do is like,
It is now.
No.
Dave,
Speaking of finding.
there's no other training other than YPT. Just YPT.
No. There's OWL.
Not annual.
Damn it. That's right, because you're was done with it. One, and nobody else is changing positions. So just finish. Right, so
Which-
den leader. He needs to do his den leader training.
Right, but that needs to be done this year, but doesn't need to be done right now. We wanna focus on that, but YPT is obviously most important. So like if we look at people individually, Sam, you basically already did YPT, so the next thing you would do would be den leader specific training.
Right.
And then if you took any other positions, you'd do specific training for that position. They do, so in the past, there's online for specific training, and then they've also done in-person ones. I don't know if they're doing that again this year. Have you heard anything about that? No?
It's all virtual now.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like, is it gonna be virtual with an instructor or just virtual,
They've
like?
had virtual with instructors.
Yeah.
They've already had some.
So-
I got a one-up on March
Training
30.
page and find out what's available and when.
So we'll have to see, I'll have to get you guys some information on that for the den leader specific training.
I'm like 68%.
Oh, perfect. That's what it is. There's just, they used to offer an in-person training too, where you go for like a full day or a weekend or whatever, and it's,
When I was 18.
yeah, it's like sufficient to meet the requirements, but,
They seem way simpler and way faster than that. other training that I was taking.
and then if you want, everybody here also has the opportunity to take Baloo and Owl camp training,
Yeah.
which that's a weekend. So
We need more people to do anyway.
we need to find out when they're running that again. And
They
then,
just did a virtual one.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, we'll figure out if they're going to do another one, and then we'll put that information as we get it. And that's, so just so you know, I don't know if you know what that stands for, but Baloo is Basic Adult Leadership
Outdoor.
Outdoor something.
Orientation.
Orientation. And then
But it'll be like-
OWL is Outdoor Weeblos Leadership Skills. So
Yes.
the two of those are the things that we need in order to go camping. You have to have a trained leader at every camp out. So right now, Dave and I are the only two in the pack that hold those. So if something happened where we couldn't go on a camp out, the camp out essentially gets canceled. But if we get more leaders involved, I mean, we're pretty much always at the camp outs, but it's good to have anyway. It's actually pretty fun. I had a good time at
For
it.
you could probably run it.
Oh yeah.
It's your basic camp out. Go in, make up a tent, make up your meals, make a skid, make a.
Pretty much
fire.
everything we did at the
They
camp
have
out on,
a decent campfire ceremony, and you're done
but with all adults.
with all of that. It's a good.
So
time.
the skits are awesome.
What's that?
I think Sam would be really good at it.
Right? That's three
Yeah.
people.
Me too.
I'll
Maybe
actually,
you should
if
join
Steve's gonna go, I'll go with him.
I
We can do
can't.
Like, we can do it together or anybody else.
There you go.
I'm not allowed to be in leadership roles.
And if we talk to Mike, I'm sure Mike would be willing to do it too.
Yeah, Mike probably would.
Yeah, and I mean, now that it's virtual, I mean, it's probably gonna be an hour or two virtual meetings. Yeah, because they're not doing camp outs.
Oh, I'm in. Sign me up twice.
Would you say sign up Baruti too? Yeah, he can do it. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking to Blue,
I think the way they did it, they did a 1 hour instruction, and everybody went away to do whatever they had to do, they came back. And then they did another hour instruction, and then we went away and did that, and then came back for another instruction, and then they had a 2-for-1 question and answer. And then, yeah, it was an all-day event.
They're awfully chatty on that. Yeah, they're awfully chatty.
Yeah.
Isn't it usually like quick commands on the radio?
So
They're being
So
rebels.
Barry was just saying, it's basically an elementary school day of virtual learning. You do an hour of virtual learning, and then you go do something, and then you come back and you do another virtual meeting for an hour, and yeah.
They provide snacks.
And
Yes.
nap time?
Yes, they do.
Do we get nap time?
Whatever you got in your refrigerator.
It's already in your house.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of Zoom meetings that you're bunching with a group of people that,
To sing and make a skit and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. All right, so that was annual training. So comments and concerns. Anybody have any other comments, concerns, any negativities that we need to address?
Negative.
No. Comments, concerns, stuff that's bugging you.
I'm concerned that Mark wins Pinewood Derby every year, and his kid also caught the biggest fish.
The system's
Hey,
rigged.
yeah, how did that work out?
His son's had a lot of practice sitting out on that boat, right?
Yeah, right.
Throwing the line out.
Yeah.
System's rigged.
We should make up a plaque for Mark for the biggest fish.
I'm not doing it.
I have to say, I thought Max did pretty good. He had a pole made out of a stick with a line tied to the end of it, and he caught 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
Not as big as Mark's, but I was impressed.
Yeah, he did really good.
My
Yeah.
And
kid,
then he melted down.
my kid caught 3 branches at the bottom of the pond.
My kid's first casting, he unwound the spool right in front of him.
So, Hunter's first cast, I thought he was going to
And
throw
then
the pole
he
in.
didn't know what to do, so he snapped the bail and started reeling. I'm like, what are you doing? Rip it all out.
Which one? Was that Wyatt?
Yeah. Brand new pole.
Hunter's first cast, we were over there on that rock. I thought he was going to throw the fishing pole in the.
I think that camp out, those kids are definitely going to remember that camp out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely remember that. So that's a good camp out.
Cody was so excited that everybody jumped on his "I'm a tree."
I'm a tree.
Oh, that was
I'm
him?
a tree. I'm a tree. Yeah. They did it all week. Pick them up after this. I guarantee it's the first
And
thing
then
they said
never ending song. Yeah.
on the hike.
That Sam started singing like hours later.
That nobody knew where it was from.
I also, I was also kind of sad that we missed half the camp out because Dave was looking at the 3-point mess hall.
Oh, that's messed up.
Which phone number for Sue Herard?
Yeah.
That's not what I said, Siri. Stop listening to me.
All right, so I have
Cancel.
There's nothing.
I
to
like
cancel.
doing PAC committee meetings at least once a month because it keeps us on track. It keeps me on track. So I have the next one scheduled for November 6th, which November 11th is Veterans Day. So that's 5 days before Veterans Day. So that may work out good so that we are all warmed up and ready.
Wait, what's this for?
We want the information before that though, because we need to let parents know. But we can
Yeah.
sync up and just confirm what we're doing
Right.
with the flags and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
hopefully, Taryn's always good at letting me know when she calls people anyway, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
But I think that might be right, because we can send some information out ahead of time. And then hopefully get some feedback, and then whatever we decide at the meeting, if something's gonna change, then we can get it back out to the parents and, you know, so that we're on top of it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we will plan for November 6th. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is that a Friday, Dave? What
I-
day is that?
I believe that is a Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Okay.
I believe that is a Friday. I like doing Fridays.
Friday.
I think meeting frequently.
Yeah, this
right
seems
now
to
is
work out
Friday,
okay.
too.
Uh,
All the time?
No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I agree.
That was actually the Friday before scouting for food, so
Friday's gonna start
I
getting
think
tough
that's
for
why
me.
I
But
planned it, but we nixed that.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. We'll do it here. This seems to work out pretty good too.
We'll do it in the other room,
We'll do it in the other room so we don't get the trucks
in the speakers.
and
As
the,
long as nobody quarantines.
and the big. Oh, yes. So yeah, definitely. If you have any symptoms, we'll set up the Google Meet just like we did now. You know, so Mark can play on his boat. I mean, so that
Tell him jealousy gets him nowhere, Mark.
screw that, keep your
I'm
boat.
gonna go outside and sit in my canoe.
Not jealous at all. Keep your boat.
I'm gonna go sit in my bathtub.
I'm gonna sit in my kayak with the water in it.
I'm gonna sit in my bathtub with a paddle.
Yeah. You sit there. Where are you going? Nowhere. Okay.
All right.
11/6. We'll see you guys. Actually, what's the next event? Next event is 19th.
17.
No, we're not doing the 17th.
19th.
We're gonna
Oh, we're going
combine those and yeah, do it the 19th. So
So we just need to
October,
get a note out about the pumpkins.
right? Oh, actually, well, Mark just left, but we have a den meeting Monday.
Okay.
We're gonna have to figure out how we're splitting up the pack, but Monday's supposed to be a den meeting.
Okay.
But I think we could probably get away with that next week, because I think the weather's gonna be decent enough.
Yeah, we'll be able to be outside again.
Work on doing the changes for the next.
Monday's not the
Mark
holiday,
gave you
it's the
guys the
following.
binder, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, there's not much that has changed. Okay.
Monday is Ashway Pictures.
Yes, it is.
Using what?
Government.
Yeah.
What?
Perfect.
Get your hands on fire.
That's right. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll see you guys Monday.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye bye.
Have a good night.
See you, bye-bye.
Everybody.
Wait, what's Monday?